Okay, little progress. Didn't really record doing what I did, but whatever. Got the mounts bolted up to the brackets. Put the turbo bandit manifold on and a Borg Warner turbocharger, or more or less to see where everything's gonna fit. Definitely have clearance issues on the radiator setup, so this is most likely going to have to change to a 2.6 or just cut out and do our own. That would probably be the faster. The cleaner looking one would be changing in 2.6, using a 2.6 radiator, and then possibly putting the intercooler somewhere in the bumper somewhere. I don't know if I could cut this bracing out and see what size I could fit, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Other clearance issues or things that I figured out is power steering lines need to get changed. This AC line's okay. The one in the front is too far forward because the engine was further back. What other things? Yeah, so all these pipes need to get relocated. This one actually extended. This is the heater pipe. It extended right over the flange for the manifold. Turbo hits into the piping for the wires that run from the alternator to the battery, so all that will have to be changed. Coolant reservoir is dangerously close, so that will most likely have to be changed or moved. Yeah, basically everything is now an issue with this setup. With the stock manifold and a smaller turbo, yeah, clearly it wouldn't be an issue. So still got to do the transmission mounts. Also, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this, but the engine sits insanely high. The hood can't be closed. It sits true about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. I got these brackets from Kangaroo's team. They stated it was like it's for all 6 cylinders, but I guess they just were on M103s and M104s, and no one really did it on the 606. And they said they emailed some people and who had a 606 and they had the same issue, so they took that off their website. But 606s fit a little higher in the engine bay than the other 6 cylinders, which is strange because the head on the diesel ones, I actually measured it because I have a 606 here that was out, and 104. And I believe the head on the 104s are slightly taller, and the block on the 606 is almost an inch taller. But I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to probably just use like smaller urethane disc mounts. I'm gonna measure how much I could go down. I'm gonna most likely have to cut into there, the cross member. It's a stamped piece, so I want to cut across and make a plate going across the other side. Just cut the top piece off. It's probably like a good, I don't know, 20 millimeters. So, and then drop the motor down as much as I can, because yeah, I want a decent amount of hood clearance, and the turbo sits true of the engine, so it has to go down as much as possible. But yeah, I'll start working on the transmission mount, get that out, then put the pump on and change the injectors, because that's something. Now, this is a plate I'm going to use. I believe this came from like a 203. So basically gonna get it to bolt up, cut it off at the edges, and then use the see if I can attach it to the OEM mount, which sits back further, like make a little plate that comes from here to the other one, because this is much shorter than the OEM transmission. Not much, but the OEM transmission, the mount sits here. This one clearly it's up some, so I'm gonna put the mount back, figure out where I gotta cut off, because this has this weird indent that this sits into. So I want to keep that, so that's why I'm going to still use this, just make it like cut off the sides and see what I can do with the OEM mount, because there's only 2 bolt locations here. Alright, this is how it looks when it's cut and in place. As you can see, I put the transmission where it should be, or where I want it. and I measured the gap in between here. So I got these plates that I'm gonna cut and weld to fill the gap in between it. This side's 5 millimeters more than the opposite side. So we'll see how it looks when it's done. So yeah, this is a plate. So I'm just gonna cut 6-inch sections off of it. Then it should work out. Alright, here they are cut up. I made one piece more than I needed to. We'll see how this goes. Clearly not all the same length. I'm not cutting them down or grinding down. Hopefully it works out. Alright, stacked up. I cut both the sides down and the face, and I'll weld the sides first. I decided to grind these down level on this one. Alright gentlemen, that's how they look when they're done. Welded them, grind them down. Didn't weld them all the way through, it wasn't really necessary, I didn't think. So got both of them, I'm gonna sand or flap wheel both these down and get the mount and make some holes. So we're looking afterwards with the two spacers. I marked out where they're going to be. You see a line there? I'm gonna etch that with like something to describe it. And then clean this whole mount up and then weld this to this. I'm going to tack it up first to make sure everything's correct. Then put a little paint or something around the hole so I could mark where they are on both sides, drill it and put it up into place. Definitely going to like cut this off so it looks a little cleaner. But other than that, well, next step. All right, so this is the final product. Actually, it's not the final product, to be honest. This is it after I drilled the holes. I had to redo one of them because the drill knocked this, not even redo, just retack, because the drill like caught and ripped it out, but that wasn't that bad. And then I just welded both, not welded all the way around, just like, again, this is a spacer, it's not like, it's not like structural or anything. So I'm gonna grind up these edges, make them smooth, and then paint the whole thing. All right, so the trans mount is in. Engine mounts are on, as you can see. They're polyurethane 240SX mounts. I put a couple of spacers because it was sitting too low, and I couldn't find any other mount that fits. I think the E30 was close to the right height, but it was rubber and like with, it was rubber with like a threaded rod going through it, and I was like, this thing's gonna break. So these are the only ones that I could find, and they're working out, but it still sits decently high. I'll show you that. It closes all the way, but the clearance is less than a finger. I can't fit my index finger through it, but it does clear, which is good. So now I'm going to work on the hot side, and a ton of stuff have to get moved. The OEM, there's a little pipe that should run off here that loops around. The OM one on the 606 comes around and basically would run right into here. So I either have to modify that, or I remember I think I got mine from a 603 turbo, which goes down. But again, I don't have this manifold. I'm not sure how close it was to it, but there's an O-ring on the pipe and it bolts to the thermostat housing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try and figure that out. I know there's a 603 down in Fort Lauderdale. I might go and check that and see if they have it there. But yeah, that's something that has to get moved. This little auxiliary water pump cannot be right here. It's gonna melt. That's the line to it. So this line has to get moved. I already cut some of it off because it came all the way up to where the wastegate, to where the turbo, the flange was, and you couldn't even put the turbo charger on it. So I'm gonna cut this probably all the way back here and run the heater hose through the firewall and back out possibly through here and run it to the left around. But this general area is going to be ridiculously hot. Also, there used to be a tube. Where did that tube go? Here. There used to be a tube. So yeah, I got this pipe used to run over here with the alternator. So that's gone. The alternator electrical is going to run over here. I'm going to have to extend these wires to run it back again behind the firewall. Coolant reservoir is most likely going to have to get moved. All of this vacuum stuff is going to have to get moved. I'm not sure what it's for. I know there's a couple of vacuums for like the HVAC system, so I'll keep those. I'm pretty sure this was useless. I'll go back over my videos and see what it was. But yeah, time to get the turbo on. I want to do the downpipe, so at least that's done. And figure out this cooling situation. So I'll get started on that, moving all this stuff out of the way. All right, cleared everything up. I moved this out of the way of the hot side, or the majority of the hot side. I ran the electrical line around here, so no modifications necessary. Still got to run this up. I cut that back coolant line off. I'm going to try and run it through the firewall. Right now I need a clock, clock the turbo, place the downpipe on, and just tack it together and see where we're at from there. I'm not sure if I should take a 45 or a 90. I know a 90 is a little not very great for flow, but the height on these things, man, it looks like it's lifted up and it's like tilted upward, not downward, which is weird. I just don't like these manifolds, but whatever, they flow well, I guess. So time to clock this, throw the drain tube on to see where that's gonna go, because that's another issue. If you look at it, the drain tube runs straight up into this runner. So yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with that. Well, the way I dealt with it, or I'm going to, I'll see how this works. I couldn't find a proper tube with a barb at the bottom, so after I realized that, I got one with a 45. Well, after I realized the situation with the runner and whatnot. So once this is down there, I'm going to try and angle it as forward as possible so the hose comes forward and then back, and hopefully that keeps it away from the runner. And I'm also going to wrap that in heat wrap because I'd rather it not melt. All right, continuing to document this nonsense. I started pulling the tip out of all these. And I'm going again a quarter turn at a time after heating it up. Not even a quarter, like an eighth. Some of them don't even move much at all. It's really annoying. But I think I pulled all these out. Maybe that'll give it some room to expand more or something. I don't know. Will allow heat to get further into the little hole that it slips in. But we'll see. All right, I'm still at it. This one and this one are all the way out, but they're just spinning and they won't come up. So I'm gonna try tapping it and then using a slide hammer to pull it out. I'm gonna still continue to heat the other three up. This one, and this one. They're all moving slowly, but these two are the ones that I got out so far. Also got a impact hammer, because I have another tool which I was kind of like last resort on doing this. I think I have it in here. I actually can take it out. Yep, I do. Yes. So this tool. Now, some people, well, not some people, I've read, and I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure it's probably not true, like cracking your head because it's impacting with a hammer on the socket. Let me show you guys. I love having just one hand to do things, and thick plastic. So basically it's this, which will slide into the slide hammer. Not slide hammer, impact, air hammer, whatever you want to call it. And you impact it while turning. So that's something to try. But I'm gonna just do the slide on, or drill these to slide them out, because I've been spinning them over and over and they're not moving at all. So I got the majority of them all the way out. So this is the only one that's left. But I did just drill all the other ones, and I'm going to tap them to an M8 so I can use a slide hammer and pull them all the way out. This one started to come out, as you can see, but it kind of stopped. Here, just blow this chip away. Yeah, so I'm not sure if you can see that. Yep, pretty clearly now. Started to come up, but it's again seized inside there. So I'm gonna tap them all, and then use a slide hammer, and hopefully this one starts coming out a little more. That's the one that's giving me like 1/8 of a turn every time, and then gets really tight. But it's still coming up. I think we have like another 2 or 3 rotations. All right, so I tried this apparatus on the slide hammer. Didn't really work, because clearly these are moving, and I can't tighten these to the point where, like, you know, it holds them where they need to be. So I have to make a tool. I have an M8 bolt, decently long. I'm gonna stick it inside one of these, weld it together. I actually have 2 of these. I was gonna weld 2 of them together, and with the bolts, so there's more threads inside. But I don't think that's going to be necessary. I'll see how it works out with just one. All right, so I'm going to grind off the metal. I think it was rusty, so grind that off and see what comes of it. No idea if that's hot enough. That's the wall. I wonder if this is. Where's the scrubber? Okay, a little too hot for that. Oh, I have metal clothes. Where are you, slide hammer? There you are. Cool. Well, let's see if this works. Oh, all right, guys. All right, this should come out. This one was the one that was already like coming out by itself. Looky there. She comes out. God damn that slide. I need some ear protection. My ears are ringing. Woo. Cool. One or two down now. 4 to go. God damn, that was loud. Ah, that is still hot. Should just get close, hold on. can see all of them out. So that took forever, but I didn't have to drill the whole casing. Once you just keep heating it up and turn it at like 1/8 of a turn. Sometimes they turn a whole half turn or more, but it just takes forever because you got to heat it up, and you could get them out. You could loosen it as it heats up, and when it cools down, it loosens more as well. But yeah, as you can see, like this little shaft right here is pretty gummed up with carbon. Here's a really bad one. Yeah, they wouldn't even turn a lot while they were all the way out. So, well, not turn a lot. They were pretty difficult to turn still when they were all the way out of the threads. So right now I'm going to take the pre-chambers out, valves out, and get it to the machine shop ASAP. All right, pre-chamber time. I hope the whole heating and cooling process of pulling the glow plugs will make these come out a little easier. I already took the locking rings out, so now I'm just going to use a tool and slide hammer as well. Okay, pulled the pre-chambers out and took the intake valve springs off. So I'm going to take the valves out and organize them on some piece of cardboard and go ahead and take the exhaust valves off. And then clean everything up. Actually not on here, but clean the valves. Everything's out. Just got to take the valve seals off and retainers so you guys can see. It's pretty gross in there. I don't know. There you go. Oh, psh. I was shining into the wrong hole. I thought my camera's on the other side. I'm ridiculous. Alright, well, yeah. Pretty gross inside. Gonna have these sandblasted, well, media blasted and skimmed. So that'll be fun. So for now, I am gonna clean all the valves, clean the pre-chamber. There's the other head, and then start assembling that. I need to run back down to West Palm Beach to do a couple other things. I need to make that into a spacer. You can't really see anymore, but let me, if you zoom in, you can see those little things right below the intercooler. They're just washers, so I have to measure that gap, make spacers with that, and then bring it back up here. But I'm going down there to, yeah, I guess do that, get gas, some head stuff. Oh yeah, and the condenser, this needs to get changed to just straight up 90. I don't know why they did it this way, because I thought it was a 90 beforehand, but I could go back in videos and check. But yeah, it's time to get to work cleaning some valves.
bigger persuasion tool.
Well, you need to get a big one, dude. That's really small. By today, Jesus, nice. Pins out. Yeah, that's perfect condition.
Anything else you want to inspect?
No, I'm good, dude.
Yeah.
All right. That pins out of the cylinder head now.
What am I charge? $75
per minute? Yeah,
per minute.
Sounds good. Gentlemen, we're back. It's been a long time, guys.
My lathe back together.
Still broken. You got to put your lathe back together. It's not even together.
No, because I was making the thing for the pump.
Oh shit! Nice. Totally forgot. I wasn't even looking at the whole pump on there, but. All right, so gotta make some spacers. You have to chuck a key. Nah, dude.
In my workshop again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna clean this.
You have to come and clean it so you can.
What? So I can't use it? I need to get that that E300 over here. When are you guys gonna get that? When is Anthony to get the
Sunday.
Really? Did you just have it, or you haven't seen it in a while? Okay.
Not since I was messing with the lathe. But actually, Michael used it last.
Isn't it just like a hex key?
T-bar with that. Yeah. Michael used it last. Asshole.
How's he doing? Is he less like aggressive as he was?
Mikey. He's not always.
Probably gonna run out of space. I need to upload a bunch of videos from this.
Save the video for when I actually do something.
No, man. So the face of that was not flat, I'm guessing?
No.
Nice.
Now I've got to find a parting tool. I'll look online. I need to get them because I do use it.
Nice tool to have, man. Machine in general, having a lathe is very convenient. Having to record the whole process. Okay, so we're doing some head work right now. I got the pin. There was a guide pin for the, or pin for the timing chain guide that I had to cut to get this out of the car that it was in. So it was kind of naggered on the inside, and just had to pop it through. A buddy of mine did that for me, and also make some engine mount spacers yesterday. All right, now I'm going to lap these I already put the intake valves in there and with some oil on it to go into the guides. I'm gonna lap the exhaust valves and do the same thing. But yeah, I guess here's the process. They are all lapped. Let me show you what they look like. No. Let me go around the other side. Well, they have this like a gray tone on the lip, but it's not focusing. Come on, focus. Whatever. They're lapped. So since they're lapped, I'm gonna put the springs in, but I gotta put the retainers in first, so that's next up. Agenda. All right, the seals are in, and so is the spring seat. So time to install the springs. Both sides are done. Now, time to get that stuff off. I'm gonna start taking the turbo off, put the lines on for it, and then take the head off. So, not too long, almost 6 hours, I think, to get this thing back together. Not detailed, but what's going on? So this pin is just spinning, so I'm gonna make a tool to just yank it out. They sometimes spin, but this is spinning a lot, and I can't pull it. It has pulled away from that, and now it's just spinning. So I'm gonna make a pull tool, pull that out, and then get this off. All right, tool made. Second tool I'm making for this thing. Now?
No, I'm just gonna go return the thing, and then when I come back, I'll tell you bye and then leave.
Yeah.
Or you're taking that out now to put in the new one.
Yeah. One stop. So I just made this
Oh,
literally like 5 minutes ago. Not even.
that's the thing about having that thing,
a
so.
welder. Yeah.
Wow.
So I just weld. I'm gonna need a pull tool. I have one for this, and I have one on the other side. Definitely gonna have to cut this later on. Let's blow these holes out. Figure out what size that is. For some reason. It's thick, so I'm gonna change it. Where is my compressed air? Nowhere around here, so I'm gonna go All right. That is out of there. Time to get these. These nuts. Excuse me. Goddamn. So I'm gonna take a break and clean this up. So it's been 2 hours and 10 minutes now. It's a piss. 14% on the camera. All right, we're back again. I'm starting to put these, excuse me, start this time with the phone. Going into the third hour. I put these tags in all of these holes, so when I'm cleaning the deck of the block, nothing happens. Well, by nothing happens, I mean everything falls into the motor. All right, back at it. The third hour. All right, heads off. But I need to clean this deck. There's the old head over there. I'm gonna bring it to a friend's. But yeah, fun stuff. All right, guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys like the longer format. Someone in my last video said that I should just make my videos longer, so this one's like almost an hour long. The next one's gonna consist of just putting the refreshed head back on and bolting the turbo on and fixing all that stuff, which has already been done right now. And also I'm probably gonna include the rebuilding of the diff. I got a 1.85 millimeter ASD for it because diff that's in it's a 168, which is like the smallest diff Mercedes make, and the flange, well, one, it's probably gonna break, and two, the flange from the 185 millimeter and 210 millimeter diffs that I have the adapter for the drive shaft. It doesn't even work in that diff because the spline count is too small. But yeah, I'm just waiting on the clutches for the ASD, and in the next video I'll have that rebuilt and hopefully the car moving. So do please like, comment, and subscribe, and you guys have a great day. Peace.